In this session, I'm going to discuss about sentence and its parts. Before starting the session, I'm going to ask everyone a question. What is the simplest sentence in English? Okay, you might have guessed already, right? So another question, what actually every sentence of English needs? Okay, so every sentence needs a verb. So can you think about it ever that you can make a sentence without a verb? No, never. So the simplest sentence in English are imperative. That means when actually we tell someone to do something like run, stop or leave. So you can see there is no subject here directly, but you are telling someone in front of you, so it is the second person and imperative sentence. Of course, most other English sentences, they actually starts and they are bigger than this type of sentence. Like he runs and she left. Okay, so the most important part here is every sentence has two parts. Like a sentence has an action part and a naming part. What actually a naming part consists? A naming part, definitely the noun, you know it, right? The name of person, place, thing or animal. It can be idea also. So in the naming part, you will find the subject, any names or any replacement of names that we call pronoun. And in action part, you will find the things that actually are talking about that naming part. So this action part and this naming part, I can show you in details that in this naming part, we call it a subject and it can be a noun or pronoun only. Nothing else can be subject or object. In action part, we actually have the verb that we also called the predicate. So verb is the only thing that actually call the heart of a sentence. Without it, we cannot imagine a single sentence even. Okay, so if you actually think that what is a verb? Verb can be two types, like one is action verb and another is state of being. Verb is not something that always will be action. So predicate actually it tells about the naming parts, that subject. So we understand that. And subject is what or whom the sentence is about. So you can see the verbs in different forms because to make sentences, we actually make sentences depending on the time. And time is the tense. So we are to change the form of the verb according to the tense. Like in simple tense, if I write with a verb, I have to think about the singular and plural. So he runs is simple tense, simple present tense. She left is past simple tense. So I have changed the verb form here. And they are working is a continuous tense. So we have seen that verb, the heart of the sentence, is changing depending on the time of action is happening. So if you look at this table, this a verb has different forms. And if you know these forms, we can make sentences in different times and according to the tenses. Like if you see that there are 6 forms of a verb: base form, present form, past form, past participle form, present participle form, and future form. If you can understand these 6 forms of a verb, you will be able to make sentences in any tense and depending on your any actions. But if you think that what is the future form? But we have 3 times, right? Past, present, and future. But verb has no future form. We make it future by adding will before it. Will before the base form of the verb. So time of action, that was I was talking about, that we call actually verb, tense. So we can say time of verb or time of action is tense. So tense, here we can see 3 types: present, past, and future. So in present tense, you have to know 2 more things here, right? The number and the person. Because in present tense, in present simple tense, it takes third person singular number, it takes s or es with the verb. You have to think about the singular and plural. That's why the example comes here. The girl likes flower. You see the girl singular here, and the likes, it takes s, yes, so the verb becomes singular here. Girls like flower. So if you look at these two examples, you will find that girls is a noun, it takes s and it's become plural. And verb is action here, likes, so it takes s and it becomes singular here. So noun and verb, in terms of singular and plural, they are totally opposite. A verb becomes singular with ses and a noun becomes plural with s and es. So I think you have got it. So if I actually discuss the thing in details, that a verb 1, if you know that which form of the verb actually uses where, it will be more convenient for you to understand tense and the structure of a sentence. For example, verb 1 only used in present simple tense, and in that time you have to think about the singular and plural also. And verb 2, it has been created only for past simple tense. And we have verb 3 that actually never used alone. You will find in sentence, in tense-based sentence, in after to have verb, that makes actually perfect tenses, and after to be verb, you will find that makes passive sentences. And verb plus ing, that we call present participle form, the main duty of these to make continuous tenses. After to be, it makes continuous tenses. Sometimes it uses alone as noun, adjective and adverb, that we call gerund and participle. And we have the last one, will plus verb, that is future form. Because there is no future form of verb, we make it by using will before the base form of the verb. That means every action verb needs an auxiliary to make senses and sentences in different times. So thank you. That's all for today.